As I was writing this essay, I kept thinking about performativity, how the idea has been memed to oblivion, but also how it's an example of how cynical we've become as a culture. Think the performative male meme, a joke that implies that any metrosexual man wearing headphones, drinking a matcha, and holding a tote bag must be a guy who's trying to get attention from unsuspecting women. In general, we look down upon performativity because it implies the person's ability to manipulate the camera's gaze. They know that it's turned onto them and they're trying to profit off of it. But by judging people for engaging in a certain set of behaviors, we are still enforcing a panopticon. I'm sure there are people who will now think twice before ordering a matcha latte or before reading a book in public because they don't want to be part of a meme. I mean, for me personally, I don't even know if I stopped drinking pumpkin spice lattes one day because I was tired of people slinging around the term basic, or if my taste palette did actually just get more complex and nuanced. But I think these things, it can sink into someone's subconscious in a way that's not necessarily productive or representative of how humans form and lose interest in things. If you don't believe me, Foucault even mentions this when speaking of the panopticon. He said the panopticon also does the work of a naturalist. It makes it possible to draw up differences, to assess characters, to draw up rigorous classifications. Pumpkin spice girl versus non-pumpkin spice girl. And in relation to normal development, to distinguish laziness and stubbornness from incurable imbecility among workers. It makes it possible to note the aptitudes of each worker, compare the time he takes to perform a task, and if they are paid by the day, to calculate their wages. We're seeing people as simple archetypes instead of nuanced humans. It goes back to that quote that I read earlier about how people view the world as them being the main character and everyone being an NPC or non-player character. It's not willing or not being encouraged to see the depth that actually exists in every single person. The girl obsessed with journaling and Joan Didion must be pretentious in this worldview. It's not possible for her to be someone who is genuinely interested in these things. And of course, there absolutely are people who are curating an image that is not a genuine reflection of who they are. But it's interesting that we assume insincerity when we see certain clues. We're not willing to readily give strangers the benefit of the doubt.